Hello, in support of this live broadcast here, just gonna uh, post your game notes, my game notes, just in the form of a live format. Uh, Obviously, people steal people's information and they present it as their own, and they say, "Oh, subscribe to the Patreon because these are my notes and I have all the answers." So you have to beware that not only is the Patreon fraud network self serving, but people really do try to steal other people's information that's available to the public and they will present it as their own. In academia, you know this to be called plagiarism. So, anyway, live broadcast here, just going over all of the games for the week. I like this week of games a lot because there's a lot of 50-50. So what you see is a lot of minus 100 money lines, what have you. And then there are some games where there's going to be great value. For example, the Panthers at home, and it doesn't matter how many players are producing stats for the Vikings on an individual basis. The Vikings have not been putting it together. But anyway, I just like to go through all of the games. From the looks of the polls, it looks like everyone is high on the Dolphins. So I think it's very good that the Dolphins blew out the Broncos because it means the Dolphins are bait for the AFC. Uh, with that being said, I think the public likes the Dolphins after they scored 70 points, but also Buffalo defense is riding very high from a dominant performance. So it's going to be 50-50. But I can see his division being decided in the final game of the season. And yeah, this is a week where ultimately, Buffalo and Miami, I think, are going to be tied up. But first, I would like to go and break down the Cardinals Buccaneers game because now I actually believe the Cowboys can beat the 49ers in the regular season. It all boils down to the win loss record in the regular season for Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy is 8-0 right now in the regular season in his NFL career. And my commentator, once I go to the comments, he says that Cardinals can win and beat Brock Purdy because Cardinals is gematria of 81. This is what Prince T.A. Graham says. Agree everything except Brock Purdy is 8-0, Cardinals 18, upset 18. I think he meant to say Cardinals is gematria of 81. So this is what uh, Prince says, but I mean, this is going to kind of lead into the Dallas Cowboys game because Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. The 49ers said that they beat the Cardinals, and the Cowboys didn't beat them. But this is just the no figure league. You can't figure it out sometimes. You can't. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's why they call it the no figure league. You can't figure it sometimes. Some of these results don't make sense. I mean, Cardinals have a great team coming up and all that, but I still think the result doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. But anyway, Brock Purdy going to go 9-0 because the Arizona Cardinals is Camacho 90. So ultimately, I like Brock Purdy to win his first 9 starts uh, by beating the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals is 81, the Arizona Cardinals is 90. So that's kind of what's figuring for Brock Purdy. But then his first NFL win was against the Bucks and Tom Brady, and I do like the fact that it's Buccaneers. That's gematria of 91. So Brock Purdy, his first win against the Bucks regular season. I actually like the Cowboys to beat the 49ers right now because just looking If Brock Purdy wasn't going to beat the Giants or the Cardinals, then he will lose against the Cowboys. So that if the Cowboys are going to get the number one seed, then Cowboys got to beat the 49ers. Just wait till the playoffs. Just wait till the playoffs. So they're not going to beat the 49ers 2 straight times in a year. Well, next time it's going to be at Dallas, and the Niners ain't got no chance. So now it's looking like the Cowboys going to beat the 49ers. They will. They will go 2 for 2 against the Niners. This is ultimate revenge. They make back both postseason games. Both postseason games, a regular season win and a win in the playoffs. Brock Purdy can fall to 9-1 just exactly due to that. Buccaneers is 91. So Cardinals are a lock to lose. Don't get me started with the Cardinals, okay? Okay, Prince. Don't get me started. Prince T.A. Graham. Cardinals will not win. Cardinals will lose at the 49ers. They're just going to use the transitive property like, hey, Niners beat Cardinals, Cowboys lose Cardinals, therefore, Niners beat Cowboys. So transitive property doesn't exactly work in sports sometimes, but that's kind of the narrative that they've got going on that week. And I completely get it. Washington can fall to 2-2 because Eagles is 22. But then let's just start right there. That's the Rams' next opponent. If they go, if they beat Indy to go 2-2. So, I just I got to go with the Rams in that one, because I mean the Bengals are still a great team. The Rams lost a close one, and they got to I mean they've invested a lot of money in the stadium. Obviously, it's sort of paid off with revenue sharing, the Super Bowl, the team gear, yes, but after a down year like last year when they went 5-12, just Rams got to kind of somewhat stay in the playoff field. So anyway, my main point: the Rams will be 2-2 entering their game against the Eagles. The Colts did win with 22 points the prior week, so I find that pretty interesting. And then on the Dallas side, they're going up against the GOAT coach, Bill Belichick. Cowboys will. This is going to be a landmark year for Mike McCarthy. He's not only going to beat Bill Belichick, but he's going to surpass Tom Coughlin and Mike Holmgren in playoff victories. He started the year against the Giants, Tom Coughlin, and if the Cowboys get the number one seed, he passes Mike Holmgren in the NFC Championship game. Andy Reid passed Tom Landry last year to make it to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. The Chiefs started out in Dallas, so this is going to kind of lead into this year and the Dallas Cowboys. I kind of talked about that before Super Bowl 57, before kickoff. Cowboys will be 3-1. Obviously, the Patriots fought to 1-3. They're coming off the game against the New York Jets the prior week. Sorry about that. New York Jets come out to 13, and thus it makes sense. The Patriots have to fall to 1-3 at Dallas. It can be a tight game. The Patriots are still a great team. They had a catch on fourth down, but the receiver didn't have a foot in bounds, so they were actually very close to being the Eagles. So the Patriots may even cover the spread because they have a really good defense. And who knows if the Cowboys look a little bit sluggish to start off the game and then just finish the second half strong, whatever. Dak Prescott leads comeback against Bill Belichick's defense. So Patriots are still a strong team. They don't commit a lot of turnovers, so this game's going to be close, but the bottom line is the Patriots fall to 1-3 at Dallas. I think that's going to be a game that can see Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on a national broadcast. The Patriots, the Northeastern, the East Coast market, and then, of course, America's team. So that game will have to be on prime time. So here we are. That game, I think will have to be a close one if it is a national broadcast. Now, what has me going Panthers over the Vikings is, Cousins is Camacho 28, and it is I think it's Young that's Gematria 28. So, I mean, his first win could happen against Cousins. Both are Gematria of 28. So, I think that can make a lot of sense. But let me go to Kirk Cousins quickly. Just go to his Pro Football Reference. Actually, no, the Vikings. I think I've already deciphered. Got to look into the conference records right now because that's going to say a lot about uh, their next games. If they play AFC next week, who's their next NFC opponent, that kind of thing. Miami Dolphins, if they have point differential 59, it could be 58 if they lose to a Super Bowl 58 contender. But then also, it's true that the Buffalo Bills just come out to 60. If the Dolphins win, they have plus 60. So, uh, just just from a competitive division standpoint, I mean, I I just have to go with Buffalo. I mean, usually Buffalo wins the game at New York, and usually Miami wins at Miami. But it could be different this year. I mean, the Bills just come out to 33, and then it could be 3 wins Miami and 3 for Buffalo. So I mean, that could be a game that who knows if Josh Allen's MVP. But I still believe that Tua. I mean, if Tua wins MVP, I guess it all depends on if he beats the Bills or the Chiefs, which I don't have him beating the Chiefs, but I've got Tua beating the Chiefs in the divisional round as the Kansas City Chiefs have a very swift exit from the playoffs. So Travis can give Taylor all that much needed attention she needs without any problems getting ready for game preparation, that kind of thing. So celebrity jinxes. I mean, Jessica Simpson, Tony Romo back in the day goes to Mexico. He loses in the divisional round. So these kind of things happen with the Kardashians. So this is just bad news for the Chiefs at the end of the day. But Patriots have minus 7 point differential, but it's more about year 8 for Dak versus minus 6 Cowboys, 6 Super Bowls. So at the end of the day, there should be no problems for the Cowboys, but it will be a tight game. Las Vegas Raiders and LA Chargers. The game is at LA. LA Gamache 13. It's also packed. That's Gamache of 31 and 13. So I think the Raiders are 1-3 entering Green Bay. And that's going to be a national broadcast. That's a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken. So good thing I didn't go live for that game on Sunday because it was horseshit and scripted and trash because Kenny Pickett went 9-6 and the whole kick the field goal garbage. It was just a big waste of time, but maybe it won't be a waste of time uh, to see the Raiders beat the Packers. Hopefully Jordan Love plays like some scrub. I don't know how that music started playing. My roommate is not even here. Yeah, Messi may start the game on the bench. Who knows if that's 1-0 written all over it. That's all I have to say about that. But anyway, sorry guys. Kirk Cousins, he could get 73rd win against Carolina. Carolina 73, but sometimes you just have to go with the narrative instead of just it's all in the numbers. It's all in the numbers. Sometimes they make things line up, so you start jumping on the other team. I guess the team that they want you to bet on. So there are some real geometric traps. But then again, when I look at Cousins equaling 28 and Young equaling 28, it just may be significant for when he's going to get his first NFL win. When it's all said and done. But hey, against a Nordic team like the Vikings and the team with the Black Panther, are they really going to have him lose the game again? A rookie quarterback to win at home and all that. Yeah, we'll see about that one. But I got to go with the rookie in that one. I got to go with CJ. Lions and Packers. Winner is 3-1. Pack is 13 in Gematria. Um, let's see. Let's see the Packers. What's the conference record? 2-2, 3 and. I mean, the Packers can fall to 2-2 because they're without Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they only came back because there's no Derek Carr the prior week. So Aaron is 22, Carr is Camacho 22. I think Derek is 40, Carr is 22. So Green Bay can fall to 2-2. If the Lions beat the Chiefs and they Falcons are pretty good. They hammered the Falcons. Go keep the ball, Alexa! First show ever in the history of the world! Yeah, and no, nothing! Don't keep the budget. I know, I'm ready for this too. You ready for this? I'll go with the I'll go with the Lions on national TV again. Lions are built for prime time. They'll say Lions differential can be uh, plus 10. It's Dan, that's Camacho 10. Uh, but then if you look at Dan Campbell, it could be 19 and 10. What I see with Dan Campbell is that well, the Lions could have plus 10 differential, but then Green Bay, if they win, it'd be plus 19 point differential. But then they came back from 17 nothing down. So their next game, are they going to be plus 17 or worse? We'll have to find out. But then the Packers could be going for 2-3 at Las Vegas the next week because Las Vegas is 23. So are the Packers going to lose at Las Vegas the next week on prime time? Is this going to be um, is this going to be life without Aaron Rodgers? I mean, very possible. Very possible. Reality could set in very, very quickly. And so I really like Detroit a lot. Now, if Green Bay's 2-2 and they beat the Raiders, then they'll be 3-2 entering their game at Denver because Broncos is Gematria of 32. So keep that in mind. It's either Las Vegas they lose or it's they enter the Broncos game with a 3-2 record. Denver is also Gematria 32. So the Packers losing is going to kind of lead up to the narratives win or loss entering that Monday night game against the Raiders. Also, it's Jimmy G. That's Gamacha 32. So I really like Detroit to win that Thursday game because you see the 23 and 3-2 sequences. And also, the Raiders usually originate from Oakland. It's Oakland that's 22. So the Oakland franchise. So right there, I just really like Detroit a lot for that Thursday game. So no team is going to enter their game at England with a 3-0 record. The Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, actually, the Jaguars do enter the game with 57 points scored for the season. England is Camacho 57. I don't know. Jaguars go to England this often, then the Jaguars can prove the 2-2, and then hey, the winning team plays another game at London the following week against the Bills. The Jaguars will ultimately leave England at 2-3 because of Jaguars having Gematria of 23. So the Jaguars will leave England with a 3-1, a 2-3 record. So it's to me, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Jacksonville to beat. I do remember the 9-6 game with Josh Allen. He lost at Jacksonville, so. But Cowboys got to be the underdog then. Well, the Niners could be a scrub team with Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa running his shit little mouth. That doing better without Kyler Murray. Should have taken me. Blah blah blah. Kyler Murray will win a Super Bowl first before Nick Bosa. Gold rush is over. When will people learn? Never. It's the gold rush all over again. The gold rush ended. That's why Niners can never win ever again. They are cursed. They left their winning ways at San Francisco. Too bad. Too bad. Now, Steelers and the Ravens. The Ravens against the Browns. Now, the Ravens are 2-1 in the conference. The Ravens can improve to 3-1 against the conference. It's not just their overall record, but their record against the conference. Steelers come out to 31. I really love Baltimore to win the next week. They'll enter the Steelers game with a 3-1 record. Should have mentioned this in the broadcast, but the Steelers are 2-1. The Steelers can be 3-1. Houston come out to 31. Steelers play Houston. Steelers should be able to beat Houston. The Steelers and the Ravens are on top of the division. The winner of that game is on top of the division. And thus, the Bengals are going to win this week and next week because the Bengals will be within a game of first place. So, even though the Jaguars lost, Titans going to lose. That division's going to be close. Jaguars will be tied on top of the division with the Colts, but this may be a missed opportunity for Tennessee. Tennessee to fall to 1-2 in the conference against Joe Burrow. We've seen the 1-2 for both teams. The Rams and the Bengals were both 1-2 after the conclusion of that Monday Night Football game. So Titans fall to 1-2 against the conference. And the Bengals will improve to 2-2 because they're coming off the game against the Rams, who they lost to for the Rams for a Super Bowl in 22 years. It's also Ryan Tannehill. Ryan has come out to 22. So Joe Burrow going to beat Ryan Tannehill. It's going to be 2-2. And he'll win the Super Bowl at Levi's in Super Bowl 60. He threw 49 passes last night. I think he had like 82 touchdowns or something like that in the regular season. Joe Montana's pick number 82. He's nicknamed Joe Cool number 2. So, bottom line is I like the Bengals. I'll have to turn off my roommate's speaker. Washington football team and the Eagles. This could be my upset of the week. Ron Rivera's 101st regular season win for Riverboat Ron against Philadelphia. New owner, momentum, return on his investment. Is Washington going to be a football team this year? Is NFC East going to be the top division? The Washington football team will make some noise to begin the season. I believe the Eagles are 3-0 right now as defending NFC champion because the Cowboys won Super Bowl 30. So if their first loss is at 3-0, then it makes a lot of sense. Cowboys can win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 30. They lose. The Niners, they win 4 of their first 5 games. The Cowboys come out to 45. Big D flying on Monday Night Football, October 8th. Cowboys are back. Are they back? We get to see what Stephen A. Smith have to say about now. It'll change every week. Cowboys suck this week. Cowboys ain't doing nothing no more. And then next week, they beat the Niners. Look out for the Cowboys. And they lose to the Bills. Oh, same old Cowboys. It's December. And then they lose at the Eagles. Oh, the same old Cowboys. Jalen Hurts. It's his division. That's how it's going to be for that division this year. I'm telling you. What other game? Sean Payton played at Eastern Illinois, so it's the no-figure league. But then the Bears are very awful. The Bears and the Vikings could be winless when they face off. The Bears have lost 13 straight games. Caleb Williams, number 13, win the Pac-12 13 days after his birthday against Oregon. This is a game where, Broncos are stuck with Wilson, and the Bears going to try to jettison Justin Fields. Especially since he's just another Ohio State quarterback, and he was talking shit about his coaches and not taking responsibility. Uh, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos. What was that again with Denver? Well, they just got done playing number 13 Tua. It could be 1-3, but I look at the Broncos. They got the Jets after this. Remember, New York Jets is 13, so Broncos will be 1-3 ultimately to begin the year. Entering their game against the New York Jets. Yeah, Bears are not winning this week. Futility, futility, futility. Better luck for Russell Wilson this week. Seattle Seahawks, they will win 2 out of their first 4 games. Seahawks is gematria of 24. And also remember, it is Bengal. That's gematria of 23. They could enter the Bengals game. Well, they'll easily lose to the Bengals the next week. Okay, that's a given. Bengals will be 3-2. So yeah, Seahawks. It's a playoff team last year. They'll probably 2-4 after they lose to the Cardinals. That could be Kyler Murray's first win back in action against the Seattle Seahawks. That probably is going to be the game that Kyler Murray is going to be back for. October 22nd against the Seattle Seahawks. So that's going to be a good one. Let's just put it this way. Lamar sucks if he can't get a win this week. We're just waiting, man. You got to get the job done. You got to be on top of the division, period. I mean, he is playing like one of the worst quarterbacks out there. Deshaun Watson, he flat out sucks. He's playing like a typical Browns quarterback, as the numbers say a typical Browns quarterback plays like. Now let's see the schedule here. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's pretty clear. Commanders, Eagles. Commanders fall 2-2 because Eagles is 22. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. AFC East about to get wild if the Commanders win. That's all I have to say about that. I won't care if the Commanders lose because that means that, hey, it's between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Bucks and the Saints. Buccaneers if they lose are 2-2. Eagles is 22. The Saints if they win 3-1. Packers 31. Saints make more sense, honestly. Just thinking about it, they'll probably lose to the Patriots. We'll see about that one. Jameis Winston goes off against Tampa. You know what? I I know I said Tampa in the prediction video, but Jameis Winston is back. Jameis Winston, Saints may be okay. They may be okay. That's what the narrative of that one may be. Packers 31, Eagles 22. Which team's gonna be the 3-1? Which team is gonna be the 2-2? Also, Thomas Brady, Thomas Camacho 22. Are we gonna see Thomas Camacho in play for that game? Get destroyed by the Eagles, have to travel and play 6 days later. I don't know. It just Saints have a great defense, you know. Saints should be able to win that one. So I think now we are in agreement what's going to happen with that one. So I feel great about this week. Let's end it here with the polls. If you weren't here for the start of the stream, people high in the Vikings, but if CJ Stroud won last week, this may be Bryce Young's week right here. The mega $1 million quarterback against Jameis Winston, 48% say Seahawks. I think we're high on Joe Burrow winning 5 straight games by beating San Francisco. It'd be 5-2, so looking good. Joe Cool comeback. LA Rams. Polls gotten back to being kind of realistic. Cowboys at 68%. Yep. Maybe people that hate the Steelers, the 33% for the Texans. People high on the Lions against the Packers. High on the Ravens against the Browns. The other games are we're just going with the stars or whatever, or we're going with the teams that have the strong narratives. Then Miami's got to be the bait this week, in my humble opinion, right there. Miami's got to be the bait. Pay attention to the 70 points, but then Buffalo defense had 50 fantasy points, so everyone's opinion changes every week, but mine doesn't. But all Bills are the best team. Last week, Dolphins were the best team in the conference. The Chiefs are in trouble after 1 week. Oh, the Chiefs are back. Right? Everyone's opinion changes. I think everyone agrees that both Miami and Buffalo, the division will be up for grabs in the final week. So this is what we got. These are the games. Yeah, Dallas saving their offensive line for San Francisco. They probably assumed they were going to beat the Cardinals, whatever, but it was rigged for the Cardinals to win. It was a scripted game. Just as the script dialed up, said CBS Sports, 9 points in the first, 6 in the second half. So games are rigged. Also, Miami Dolphins is 70. They scored 70 points. That's how the game was rigged. Vegas is 18, Las Vegas 23. Sunday Night Football, decision, kick a field goal, completely rigged. 41 points, Super Bowl 58 side, Super Bowl 41. LA Rams 19, Bengals win with 19 points a year. They ended the Bo Jackson curse. They made it to the Super Bowl. LA Rams 19, Jackson 19. They scored 19 points. And Cowboys at the side of their last Super Bowl win, they allowed 28 points against the Cardinals. The next Super Bowl win 28 years later. So that's how it's scripted. Cowboys' first Super Bowl since '96. Kenny Pickett, 960 starter at the side of Super Bowl 58. The first game held at Vegas this year. Of course, Dallas 86 points after they face off against the Cardinals. So, yep, everyone's opinion changes every week, but not over here. Because we keep it real. Let the games begin this week.